everybody, it's Christy back with another video, and today I am going to talk about what I picked up on Amazon Prime Days this year. Now, I am going to disclose, like, obviously I shoved a bunch of stuff in this one box because things from Amazon don't always come in one box. But let's talk for a minute about the whole premise of Prime Day before we start. So first of all, if you didn't buy anything on Prime Day, good for you. There's no pressure ever on this channel for you to spend money that you don't have or on art supplies that you don't need. But I just thought I would show you some of the new stuff that I did pick up in case you were in the market for something affordable or gifts for people. Because for me, this is the time of year I start to buy Christmas presents. And I know that might make me crazy to some of you, but it is something that I do because I have a lot of people to buy for. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. What is the first thing I picked up on Prime Day? And I haven't opened any of this stuff yet. I just picked it up. So I ended up buying and purchasing the set of Watercolor 72 colored pencils. I have seen these popping up from time to time on YouTube and Instagram, and people are using them. And so I wanted to see if they are any good. They are kind of a new to me brand. So we are going to test these out on the channel in comparison to like my Prismacolors or other affordable brands of art supplies. This was a set of 72, which is the size that my original set of Prismacolors was. There are 2 stickers here. So we're going to cut both stickers. Did I do it? Okay. Okay, now it's opening. Okay, so first of all, we have this little piece of foam in here, which is a nice touch because it did keep them packaged nice and tightly. And then look at that. That's really pretty. They look really nice. Let's pull a couple out to see what we see on the barrel. So they say Watercolor Soft Series, and then they are numbered. The ends are dipped. They have this really pretty black matte dip, and then they have a nice, not pointy point, but just a nice flat point on here. So that is really neat, and I really like it. I wonder if on their website I can download some kind of list of what these color names mean. So this is 38, but these are really nice. They really look nice as far as a budget brand pencil. As far as looking immediately, I don't see anything that's a red flag with the core placement. They're not perfect. This one looks a little bit egregious. And by that, I mean, like, look, see how on one side of the pencil, you've got lead it's definitely maybe not in the complete center of the pencil. It's a little bit off to the side. And so that is, makes it a little bit harder to use them. So I do see maybe a couple that are like that. This one seems to also be, oops, sorry for hitting the camera, a little bit like that. See, that one's off to the side. So it is something that you have to think about whenever you have colored pencils. So there are a couple like that, but overall, they don't look too bad. I guess we'll see when we play with them, but this is something that I picked up on Prime Day that I thought I would share with all of you. Since we're talking about pencils, another thing I picked up on Prime Day were these. And these are not necessary. These were a necessity, something that I needed because I am a math teacher. I am in graduate school and my daughter is going into 4th grade. So we needed some mechanical pencils. We got a great deal on this 40-piece set from Bic. And I know this isn't necessarily an art supply, but I do love these pencils. I like the 0.5 and the 0.7 millimeter lead. I'll let her choose which ones she wants, but we'll just have a nice pack of them to kind of go with as the year progresses, which is nice for us to have. I picked this Mia watercolor palette up because I just couldn't not. It looked so neat and unique. Look, it's got this like weird circular shape, and then it's got a brush in it. It says vibrant colors, water soluble, blends easy, paintbrush included. So I am going to test these, but I still might gift this palette. it was like $10. I couldn't pass it up. And I know, like, at the end of the day, it's probably not great. Like, I know what the quality is of these paints most likely. Okay. Yeah, they look pretty chalky to me right off the bat. But what a cool palette design. I mean, even just for this palette for $10 to pry these paints out and use the palette, I really like this palette. And then on the back here, so it does have a listing of all of the colors, and I think that's it. And then this is just sitting in here. It's not in, there's no like actual spot to put it. I wonder if on the inside there was a spot for it. No, there's not. So this brush doesn't really have a place to go. So as far as being a travel palette, I'm not sure this would do it. But yeah, I am interested to see what would happen if I'm sure if I pried these paints out, I would just have like this really nice on the go travel palette. And again, even just for $10 for this kind of unique flat palette that you can see through, I think that's kind of cool. So I don't know. I picked it up. We'll play with it on the channel. Tell me what you want to see. Tell me if you want me to swatch it. Tell me what you want. I'm here for you. I'm here to do the things that you guys want to see. All right, I have 2 more boxes. This is, like I said, going to be a little bit of a shorter haul, and then afterwards I'm going to do a little update on World Watercolor Month as well. So let's do these ones first. This is actual, it said handmade watercolors. They are, I believe, metallic. I have looked at this brand in the past. This I think it's CSY Art. So CSY Art Gallery. I've looked at them in the past. It says made by hand in Germany. Our watercolors are crafted according to traditional recipe of raw pigments, gum arabic, local honey, and rosemary essential oil. So I am interested to see. All of a sudden I can't use this little craft knife. There we go. What these guys look like, because they have come up multiple times over the years and I've just never pulled the trigger, but the price was really good on Prime Day. So let's go ahead and open them. Let's see. I don't think there was anything else in here, no. Okay, and then you've got this little sleeve, which I'm not going to get rid of yet. It says Honey Watercolors, natural and fresh. CSY Art Gallery, made in Germany. It's got a nice little metal tin. Okay, they are wrapped really nicely. There's silica gel in here to keep them from getting muddy, especially if there's honey in them. That would be a good thing. But look at the color offhand. Really pretty. Okay, so the prompt for World Watercolor Month today is immense, and I was thinking about painting Jupiter, and so this would be a really cool palette to maybe paint some details on top of Jupiter. So I was thinking that I would do that today here on screen. So yeah, maybe we're going to unwrap these. Let's unwrap one of them. Let's unwrap the red. And just see. I can't remember what set I bought. This is called Gold Red, it says on the bottom. I'm really hoping on the inside here it still gives me the names so that I can remember what's what. Although I guess I can just go back to the Amazon listing and look. Hello. This is what you get. This is the quality content you guys came here for. Me unwrapping tiny, tiny panes of paint. Okay, there it goes. I do want to see at least one of them. Okay, so it is really, really shiny. Can you see that? Kind of trying to get it in there. And it does not say red gold, but I am going to, or gold red, but I'm going to stick this sticker on the actual bottom of the pan. That's what I'll do for all of them so that I have the name somewhere on the actual pan of paint. And then do we have enough room to like, no, we don't, but we can clip this closed so that they don't move around so much. We could fit more in there if I bought more. So I'll unwrap those off of offline and we will go from there with that. But I do think today I'm going to play with these and swatch them and use them in an art piece. So you'll get to see that upcoming here if you stick around. And then we have this guy, which this was such an intriguing find. I have not seen quite a set like this before, but on Prime Day it popped up a bunch of times. It is a little watercolor set. So it's got the following things. We start with a little actual palette with a tiny, tiny set of wells. I'm dropping stuff. So we've got this little 12 wells that go in here like that. And this is a tiny little Altoids tin. And then I think this guy it goes like that. Yeah, so you just like put it on here. That's a magnet. And then it can clip to your sketchbook. So you can open her up like this. Clip it to the sketchbook. And then paint, paint, paint out in the open. And then this guy has a clip on it. It says oil pot, but I think you put water in it. So you can put a little bit of water in here and clip this to your booklet like this. And then you have water and you have your paint. So this is going to be something fun for me to play with. I always like little travel palettes because I think they're super fun. It was very affordable on Prime Day. And so these were just a couple of things that I wanted to test. And again, I have thought in the past about making, because I have a lot of tube paint, making some little watercolor sets, especially with like my Cotman colors that I use less these days, but that are still really good paints. And this would be such a nice little thing that I could do, add a sketchbook to it and maybe a water brush or a regular paintbrush. You wouldn't need a water brush because you have water. So maybe just a regular paintbrush, and then you would have like a nice little plein air set for somebody for Christmas. And that would be a really affordable way to give like a mini watercolor kit to somebody. These were very affordable handmade metallics. So I wanted to test them just because, you know, I love a good metallic on the channel. And then this was a nice affordable brand of colored pencil. So if I was making somebody a colored pencil gift with a coloring book, I would want to know if it is worth it to buy a bigger set of pencils like this from Sioux Color. Again, a lot of people seem to really like these pencils, so I wanted to test them. And this palette, again, I have to decide whether I'm going to keep it or I'm going to give it as a present. If I give it as a present, I really hate to use it. So we'll see. I might just turn it into a project here in and of itself. That might be fun for us to do. I think this is the one I'm going to ask you guys to decide about. So in the comments below today, this is the middle of the video, but I'm still going to say it. Leave a comment and tell me what you want to see me do with this. Do you want to see me swatch it? Do you want to see me gift it? Do you want to see me pry the paints out and repurpose it? Do you want to see multiple of those things? I can't gift it if I do that. Well, I could turn it into a gift, I guess. I'm rambling. Tell me what you want me to do with this palette. It's just weird and different, and I had to know. So that's where we are at with that. So let's talk about World Watercolor Month. Let's switch gears, and I'm going to clean off the table, and I'm going to kind of give you an update on my World Watercolor Month stats. All right, so let's briefly talk about how I'm doing with World Watercolor Month. The short answer is it's spotty. Sometimes I'm doing really good and sometimes I'm not. So some of these turned out really great, like this first one for Sunlit. Probably one of my favorite things I've ever painted. I love this piece, and I'm definitely going to turn it maybe into some prints on my Etsy shop. Number 2 was Diversion. I really loved how this one turned out too. It was more of a line and wash, and that was a cool style for me to play with. And then we did Raspberry. I eventually would like to go back with some colored pencils and clean this up because I think with some Prismacolors, this could really be a good piece. I like how it is already. 4 was Burst, and again, I just really think the Galaxy was fun to paint. 5 was Startle, and if you were alive in the 80s or 90s, you can hear this photo. This alarm clock was the clock that we all had in our houses, I feel like, but I really like that I thought of that and painted it. Day 6 and 7 were my last YouTube video that I did for Sketchbox, and this was using the Sketchbox signature paint. And yeah, they both turned out really good. Here is the finished pieces. Again, I haven't gone back. I'd like to go back into this one with some colored pencil. And then we had a few days where I didn't paint, so 8 and 9. I'm going to come back to them. So one of the things I like to do is when I have a couple of days to paint, I will come back to things. 10 and 11 were Clutter. I really like the Clutter one. I think it turned out really good, especially the spice jar. Is that not just so cute? And the flowers, because you know I love a good floral, so couldn't resist. And Element, I painted a volcano, and I think it turned out pretty cool for just like a quick paint. And then Otherworldly and Valuable didn't get painted. Aubergine, I have a really cool idea for Aubergine. And Spacious didn't get painted, but then we got back at it for Recycle. I just painted a cardboard box. I want to finish that one. Again, I feel like it's a little bit unfinished and it didn't go on the internet yet, but you saw it here first. Distant is another one I really like. Love the granulation. Turned out so good. That Daniel Smith Moon Glow, man. The Moon Glow mixed with a little Daniel Smith Ultramarine. I just think it creates the most beautiful skies. So this turned out really fun. And today is day 18, and we're going to paint Immense. Like I said, I would really like to paint Jupiter. I think that'll turn out really cool. And here is the paints that I bought on Amazon, the Sci Art Gallery metallics. So there are some good colors in here. I think these reds I can use to kind of give me some cool shimmery effects on Jupiter. And then I'm going to use my M. Graham watercolors that kind of live on my desk in this palette. It's very well loved, but because M. Graham paints will migrate because they are honey based, you can even see down there we had a little bit of a problem with that orange. I like to use these only on my desk. So since I am at my desk today, we're going to go ahead and we are going to paint Jupiter. So I'm going to go ahead and just put a time lapse on and hang out here with you and do this. And hopefully you will enjoy us painting for World Watercolor Month and you enjoyed the art haul. this piece here. So I really like the texture I was able to get. It's just a fun little quick painting of Jupiter. Might play around with it a little bit more once it fully dries with some more pencils. We shall see. But I do really like watercoloring planets. When I started watercoloring again for the first time after years of not watercoloring, one of the things I used to do was just to make wet circles on watercolor paper and drop paint in and kind of make up my own planets. It was such a fun, easy, relaxing activity. Matter of fact, that's one that I could do a video on if you guys are interested. So that is kind of why this was a nice, relaxing activity for me today. Really like this. Hope that you enjoyed coming on my World Watercolor Month journey with me a little bit today. Okay, sorry about that. I hit my camera when I was trying to grab these paints, so I apologize for the whiplash. So these paints are interesting. I really haven't played with them enough to give a full idea of what I think of them yet, but they definitely have really beautiful shine. If you look at my piece here, you can definitely see where we added some metallic details, and it was kind of super fun. And so I definitely think they're pretty cool. I want to play with them some more. I'm actually thinking with the amount of metallic watercolors that I now own, which is getting to be kind of an insane amount, maybe I should do a series on the channel that's just about metallic watercolors. I will work with a specific set and kind of do a mini product review and do a little rating scale, and then I can rate them all the same way. And then maybe at the end of all of that, we'll do a roundup of how the ratings went and which ones I would consider to be my best value brands, my best handmade brands, my best most pigmented, best light fast, things like that. So let me know if you think you would be interested in that in the comments below. But that's going to be it for me today. Hopefully this inspired you to paint something for World Watercolor Month, even if it's not with the prompt. And we will see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.